Lights are off on the pace car, which means the Cadillac and the Audi will go head
Look
to
at this
head.
front row.
What a front row.
This is amazing. Like, seriously, don't adjust your TV screens because you would think this might be the 12 hours of Sebring.
Yeah, with sunshine. Here we go. And these two are going to go. Who's your money on in this one? Travis, though.
No, Jasek's the aggressive one. Okay. Travis will wait for his tires to warm up and make good decisions, and Jasek goes for it.
Here we go, then. Let's see if you're right. Green flag waves. Away they go. Jasek Muka on the right-hand side. Travis Engen does slot it to second place, as you guessed it would be the case. Engen will wait to get his tires up to speed. That's a beautiful-looking Cadillac. You said Ford Cadillac or sample Ford. What does that mean?
Mustang sampling.
I see.
Yeah, that was the sponsor back then. I think is that a Wayne Taylor? No, that's not Wayne Taylor. Who was the team with that?
Well, Max Angelelli was the guy that developed the Cadillac originally for IMSA. But you're right. Wait, I mean, so many of them. But 219, no, that's a long time. Yeah,
now look at this radical. Now look at the legs on that Audi, just pulling away, coming right down to Jasek Muka. It does take about a lap for that Audi's tires to come to temperature, I believe.
Third place is Aaron Weiss in the Praga R11.
Cool looking car. Like the lines of that car are just beautiful. But basically the first three cars in this group are reverse airplanes. They're basically made to keep these cars on the ground.
Yeah, and in fact the Audi in the middle, the all grey with touches of red, is the most successful Audi racing car of all time.
Isn't that cool that it's here with us? And will be with us probably 4 or 5 more times this season. So it's so cool to see that car, and especially sometimes in the paddock you can go to GMT and they've got all the clothes off of the car and you can see the engineering inside it. And it is unbelievable to see the insides of that car.
And they've made it easier and easier to fettle with. It used to be you'd have literally technicians from Audi to be able to get it started and work it and all the rest of it, but they've made it a lot easier now. But this top four, look at them, really close together as they come out of 16 and down the Ullman Straight. Line astern, here comes the Audi.
Yeah, but the Audi and the Cadillac are pretty equally yoked at this point. Maybe Travis is turning it on. Look at that.
We've got some aficionados.
Oh, man. All right, so give us your historic Sebring 12 hours announcing voice. Remember those from those films of the 50s and 60s?
And here they are, the American Classic here at Sebring. And it's good to see Bill McLaren and Bruce McLaren together on track. Brian Redmond is also in this one. He's in a Ferrari.
That's amazing. I wish I had that talent. It was Travis Engen in the Mission Foods Turn 1. But there it is, that number 72. Such a cool Aaron Weiss, a Praga R1T. Beautiful lines on that car, but that radical went up ahead of him.
Yeah, we just had Erwin Grevin saying Thomas Eng was one of the drivers in that car. I think that does. Beloff was another one. Bieler. We're talking about the Audi.
Travis went wide.
Sorry, the Cadillac you were talking about, and I was talking about who drove the Audi as well. But there's nothing between the top three. Really impressive so far. Jim Booth at the wheel of that Radical. It's good to see the the nimble Radical just keeping up. I mean, he's got plenty of grunt anyway, but so nimble in the quick corners.
Yeah, it's a short wheelbase, narrow car. Lots of fun to see. We have this PSSA group that races Radicals and Revolutions, and until you see those two cars side by side, they look pretty similar. But the Revolutions are quite a bit wider.
Yeah,
have a little bit wider track, but really fun to see those cars on track. And we'll have our first PSSA race next weekend at Thunder Hill.
That's right.
There's the 30 of Michael Schmitz in a Norma M30 Group 11 car.
I had not heard of the Norma. My mother's name is Norma. She doesn't know she's a racing car.
Yeah.
She drives like a racing driver, but she didn't know she's named after a racing car.
All right, now somebody's playing smooth hits in there. Do you hear that?
No, you're imagining things.
I might be.
There's people in your head.
It's really sad, though, because I feel like I could imagine better than Kenny G. There you go. There's that Mustang sampling. I'm going to snap back to it. Jasek Muka over Travis Engen, but Travis Engen really giving him the grunt here going into 17. And here comes Michael Schmitz. Might be up there with these two in that Norma M30. So he started at the back, but really moving his way up to the front.
Still haven't got a glimpse of Andrea Robertson on track yet. She's in 10th position in that Ford Doran GT. Here come the leaders. Another lap completed, the clock ticking down. There's the 7 of Ralph Lamacha and that Master Elan DPO2.
Yeah. So Wolf Motorsports and Ralph, they hang out a lot. And actually, I got to go to, so just outside of Road America, Wolf built these like basically condos with big garages that you can build out. You can make like a clubhouse or a bedroom. So when you come to Road America, and Tom Lemkuhl, our former grid chief, took me over there, and he's just got a really neat place with a lot of really cool like Ferrari memorabilia. And he and Tom would pair up and do a lot of co-driving together. So Ralph Lamacchia here, James French is his coach and co-driver. So it's cool to see those two come all the way up from Wisconsin down here to race with us at Sebring.
Yeah, trying to get away from the cold and get some sunshine in you. So Myers and Myers, 7th and 8th. They had a good battle yesterday too.
So Steve Keyline, this is a great comment. Love seeing the racing cars from the days when the drivers were fat and the tires were skinny.
Yeah.
It's the opposite these days.
Can be. Yeah, Jacek Muka did a 2:03.4, and he's got a good gap over Travis Engen, but it's still a good battle. Now we go back to this battle here. This is the Meyer battle.
The battle of brotherly love.
Yeah, Benjamin and Andrew.
So Benjamin last night might have gotten a little bit green with envy, seeing his brother collecting all those cup trophies. So he's just ahead of him as they go through Bennett Bridge Hall Bishop's Bend.
So that would be Benjamin going through Bennett's Bishop's Bend.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Wait till we have Benny Bish out there.
Benny Bish, that's right. He's up next. Group 10.
Look at that, though. Andrew's getting behind him now. The slipstream, the drag, can be a big coefficient here. Look at that. Is he closing the gap? I can't tell. It looks like they are dead even.
Yeah, it looks dead
like
even.
Like they have a stick between them, and they're just connected.
Good racing, though, and I think they're enjoying the fact that they've got plenty of room to race each other, but they're very similarly yoked, as you quite rightly. There's the Andrea Robertson with the lights blazing on that Ford Doran GT. Beautiful. I went and had a closer look at that. It is absolutely gorgeous.
Have we gotten an answer?
Here we go. Now Travis has got his glue together and stuck one ahead of Muka and takes the lead. So Engen, for the first time, leads this race in the Audi R8.
Uh-oh. Ladies and gentlemen, strap in. We're going to have to stay with the leaders. I think we've gone through the whole grid because we're going to have to stay with the leaders. Something amazing is about to happen. Travis Engen in his 2005 Audi R8 LMP versus Jacek Muka in a 2019 Cadillac DPI. This is about to get good at Sebring. Two cars with huge history here at the 12 Hours of Sebring. Who do you have the advantage to? Who do you give the advantage to, Jonathan?
Well, just what you said was so interesting. 2005 versus 2019. That should not be a match, but it just shows you the quality of that Audi and also Travis Engen's ability at the wheel. But Muka should have the advantage, and he's right there behind him as they come through 15A and head towards 16.
But you never know, like, what kind of restrictions were put on cars in that 14-year difference. But, yeah, Travis a little bit less drag. Than, you know, with that open cockpit car over that Mustang sampling. But you can see Jacek kind of looking around. He's like, doesn't have the draft yet. Jacek and Travis have raced together many times, so they know each other really well. But let's see what happens here.
All right.
Look at those bumps.
Yeah, out of the Mission Foods Sunset corner. And there's going to be another lap before the white flag for at least, and that means that Jacek Muka, as they dive into one, has still got a very good chance of winning this race.
Yeah, he's taking the wide line, short apex corner. Travis taking the defensive line. Both on the brakes at the same time, but Jacek was just a little bit behind Travis. So Travis later on the brakes there.
And they come out of very smooth indeed. 3, 4, 5 now and down under the bridge.
Look at that gap now that Travis is getting.
Yeah, he's getting some good, using the grunt of the Audi there for sure.
Jacek's going to have to be a little bit later on the race, but man, he used all the track there. He almost came out, tracked out wide right.
Just seems like the Cadillac under braking than a more modern car just really dives closer and closer under heavy braking, especially at the Cube 3 hairpin there in turn 7.
Gary Gray, and that number 34, 2013 Radical SR8. I wish I knew, and I should know. I'll know by next weekend what the difference between an SR10 and an SR8 is, but hopefully our comment section does. It does seem like yesterday that those Audis were new, and I have a few slot cars of those Audis, but look at this. Andrea Robertson Another car that raced the 24-hour, that very car raced the 24 hours of Le Mans.
She podiumed that, didn't she?
Yes, yeah. She and her husband. What a cool story that is. Love the new bridge that Sebring's put in the last 5 or 6 years there, that Corvette bridge going into Green Park. Just every year we come back here, there's new improvements that the staff is making to the track.
Yeah, you don't want to mess with it too much.
Yeah, they're not really changing that. They're changing like the infrastructure and the things for the spectators, but the track is staying the same. Yeah, if they came here and repaved and smoothed out the track, I think the whole motorsports, anybody in motorsports would revolt against it. So I believe this is Dave Kunzelman with that SR3.
Another
with
radical.
The Momo Ferrari livery on it. Love that.
Yeah, you gotta love that. Kind of on his own though at the back. In 11th place.
But we've gone through. Let's try to, if you guys don't mind, you guys want to see the leaders, let's try to go back to those leaders with Travis Engen and Jacek Muka, because I think it might come down to, there we go. I love it. Look at that as I come through Cube 3, Turn 7. What are you seeing, Jonathan?
Well, I'm seeing, like I said, the Cadillac goes very close there. That's about the closest he comes. And then he stays with him down the Fangio. But watch this. Well, next time we get a drone shot, you'll watch. The Audi will start to just pull away slightly, see? And then by the time they come into Tower,
Jacek's outbraking him.
Yeah, he's outbraking him every time. Tower, again, very close. So what he needs to do, if he wants to make the approach and get over the slipstream, he needs to tuck himself up at 16, get through Bennett's Bridge Hall, Bishop's Bend, and then 15, 15A, 16, then tuck himself right there at 16 under braking. Now, at this point here, if we get it, watch this angle. See how close he gets in this right-hander and exiting from that. And if he is close enough, then he might have a chance down the Almond Straight. Here we go. That's what I'm talking about. Look, close as he's been, right?
Yep.
But watch the Audi now.
Now, if Jacek can tuck in on Travis, Travis will give him the corner.
But he's got to be right there. And this is where the Audi has the advantage in a straight line. See, he's just not close enough to make a move.
But he is taking a faster line through there.
Let's see what he can do
see
here.
If he can go under at the exit.
Well,
almost.
He's nice
Look
and
at
close.
that.
He's nice and close.
It is.
Still time.
And I don't see a white flag.
Not yet.
Ooh, this could shape up to be pretty good. So if you're in the comments, who's taking this thing, the Cadillac or the Audi?
Well, he's got time. We've got a few laps left, actually. So he's just going to bide his time. He just needs to get closer and closer, take increments each and every corner and lap.
So MAK 450 is like he's still salty over Pikes Peak being completely paved, to be honest. Yeah, it's not fair because now how do you compare yourself to the times Bobby Unser did in the dirt and hanging out like crazy to the asphalt?
No,
you know,
you can't. Changed it dramatically, didn't they?
Look at this.
This is where he gets very close indeed, but he needs to be closer because that's the obvious place to overtake. I think it'll be hard for Travis to come back at him if he does get past him.
Man, that Cadillac rotates quickly. I've never seen that.
Okay, let's see where he goes through here. Through Collier, and now under braking. He's kind of holding off a bit. He's gone deeper than that.
I wonder if the aero wash getting right behind one of those cars is a problem. I don't know.
Might be.
We haven't really seen anybody, going up against Travis in a while.
No, they're both coming up on
some lap
Kudisman.
traffic.
Yeah, that's Kudisman again in 11th. They're both past him. Oh, no, one of them is. He might get held up
a little bit of a pick here.
Yeah, Travis is going to gain a lot here. Look at this. Ooh, this is advantage Travis.
That is so 12 hours of Sebring. What we just saw there, that's just what all the prototypes
and he's still not past him fully. Yeah. Oh, that's a huge advantage. Remember last time we saw this shot, he was tucked in right behind him. And now Travis has got about 4 or 5 car lengths on him now. And I think that's all he's going to need in the closing stages of this one. Nicely done by Travis. That's good, skillful, clever driving.
I don't see the start tower like scrambling to find their white flag, so we're going again.
I think they're having a discussion.
Maybe they forgot this isn't the 12-hour.
Maybe. So the gap has increased dramatically now. It's over 3.5 seconds. So all the good work that Muka had done has come to naught because Travis Enningen, as you can see, is gone. He's already through 3. And now Muka braking, just coming into the entry of 3. So he's broken the back of this, has Engen.
Isn't it interesting to see all the different racing surfaces here? So now he's on that patch. Then he comes out. So just those little bit of changes, you know, in the right weather can kind of mess you up because it's just different grip levels, different adhesion. Then now he comes into a concrete part of the Cube 3 Turn 7 hairpin.
This is 3rd place. This is the 63 of Jim Booth. Been a quiet race for him, but he's pedaling away nicely. Out of Cube 3 and down the Fangio straight.
If I'm not mistaken, I thought Jim Booth used to drive a white Radical with us last year. Maybe he's got a new car for him.
Well, the SR10 is probably one of the most modern Radicals, so maybe he's upgraded to a more modern Radical.
There's La Bamba Racing down there. I see the La Bamba Racing machine. Happy to have them here. Thanks for joining us. And there's Jim Booth. You can see that halo. See their kind of interpretation of the halo there. That's a smart idea.
Yeah, it is. Works well.
As we saw with Grosjean a few years ago.
Oh, yeah.
See, they've added asphalt right there coming into, what is that, 15? 14, 15, 16. Yeah, so that's turn 14. That wasn't there, I think, last year.
Well, it's going to be a safe third place, for Booth. The battle rages on between Engen and Muka, but Muka's kind of lost out. The gap now 3.5, if not more, at the end of this lap. Winding down. This are Group 5A, 7, 11, and their second race of the weekend.
I want to see this Praga, the black car behind this red car. I want to see the lines of that. It's just a really cool looking car. Look at that. It looks like
spacey,
20 years in the future.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? It's actually 4th place at the moment. That's the 72 of Aaron or Weiss on the Praga.
Man, that looks rough.
I do like that. Good looking car. But low to the ground.
Respect the bumps. That's Sebring's tagline.
Yeah. Well, he's having fun, that's for sure. 4th place overall and already getting into traffic as he dives out of turn 1.
Back to Booth. Something's hanging on the bottom of his car. You see that?
Yep.
Just behind the right front wheel. Probably just a little piece of, what do you call that? The body that keeps it a flat underneath. Something's come loose there, and there's our leader. The gap has dropped. It was 3.5.
Well, Engen doing a good job of controlling this race, but we'll keep an eye on the gap. It's 2.8 now. Look there, you can see it now for yourself. So it's come down a little bit, so he's replied well, has Muka.
So Mac 450 says his money is on the Audi, but he's rooting for the Caddy.
Well, the battle of the Myers is over, that's for sure. And it looks as though Benjamin's easily won that. Andrew a long way back now, look.
Yeah, wonder what happened.
Meanwhile, the leader's coming through. Engen on his way.
Looks like so the person at the flag stand looks like he's ready to throw something.
He's ready to throw. Well, he's ready. It's a flag of surrender for Muka. It's actually a white flag to say last lap because Muka is a long way behind. There you see the gap.
Yep.
Muka some 5.1 seconds. That's why I say he's surrendering, because it was down to just under 3, but now it's gone back up to 5. So
you know what's so interesting about endurance racing that we've seen in the years past, you know, you look at the record books for 12 hours of Sebring back from the 60s, sometimes it was, 60 lap difference between the leader and stuff like that. But man, the last couple of 12 hours of Sebring, last couple 24 hours of Daytona have come down to the last lap with the cars inside of each other.
I know, endurance racing has changed dramatically over the years, and they've got it down to an absolute T now. So last lap into the hairpin for the last time for Travis Engen and that famous Audi R8 LMP. Everybody else taking the white flag.
I've spoken to Travis because sometimes he'll race 4 cars in a weekend with us, and I've never really done that, you know. I've never gotten from one car to the other race car. And he said, no, all of them feel a little bit different, so he knows exactly what car he's in. He never thinks in that Lotus 23 that I've got the downforce to go into this turn as I do. You know, he just kind of repositions, reprograms his brain. I'm in the Audi. This is what this car can do.
Well, I think because the cars are so different, that actually helps.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so.
So the battle between Engen and Muka coming to a close now as we look at the last part of the track from high above here at Sebring. And Travis putting on a good show. And here he comes down the Ulman Straight for the last time. Now, I wonder, I'd love to get a record or a readout on just how many races, just by fact, not big Super Le Mans races, but just how many races this car has won. Because it's been running around in historics and winning constantly.
Yeah, and he doesn't just race with us. He's doing all kinds of different historic events.
Oh, yeah, I've seen him all over the USA. Checkered flag then for Travis Engen, who wins once again in that Audi R8.
Acknowledges the checkered flag. Thank you, Travis.
In a moment, Jacek Muka, there he is. Muka comes across the line to take second in the Cadillac.
That was a cool race. That was fun to watch. And Rob and Alex told me a couple weeks ago that we do have a lot of Group 11 cars here coming here, and they were right. It really paid off.
All right, well, as we pull just away from Sebring for a moment, we'll take a short break. We'll be back with more action from SVRA here at the Speed Tour in Sebring.